Okay, 7 o'clock now. All right, everybody in the meeting already, please send me an email. My email address is already in the Zoom group chat. So everybody send an email right now. I will give you $1 every word because you joined the meeting in time. Okay, please send me now. And I will get this for some. I give 1 more minutes. When time gets to 7:01, I will stop. Okay, so I repeat again. So anybody in the meeting before 7:01, please send me an email. I will give everybody $1 every word. If you are later than if you are joining the meeting later than 7:01, sorry, you are late. You cannot get $1 reward. How many? Few seconds left. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people, $7. Okay, hey, 7:01. Okay, great. Let's start. This is Kevin speaking. So basic rule here. Just to make sure, if you don't talk, mute the microphone. If you're talking, make sure you have the headset. Just do not use the PC speaker and the PC microphone because the sound quality is kind of terrible, and sometimes we cause some echo. So just make sure when you don't talk, mute. If you talk, using headset. Okay, everybody got it? Cool. Got it. Yeah. Okay, great. This is Kevin speaking. I'm the CTO of the Elastos Silicon Valley base. I'm working on building the developer community. You know, Elastos as operating system project, the most important thing for us is to find the app developer to build application on top of us. So building a strong, robust developer community is the most important thing for us. So that's why we are going to we already announced the Bounty Program last week in San Francisco, and today is our first leader meeting of the Elastos global community, and we already have 2 people who is hosting the meetup. Kieran, I call him KP Woods. He is the one working on the social community, so he will be hosting the meeting. And Clarence is another guy who is also hosting the meetups. Clarence focus on the EBP program and the hackathon. We're going to announce a hackathon in this meeting. So today we only have leaders joining our meeting, and all the leaders will be our global leaders in your own community, in your own geolocation. So today's meeting, even we call it open meeting, but we're not going to open to all the community members. We only open to the leaders. We're going to discuss a lot of issues, like what are we going to do in the future for our community, and what we're going to plan our hackathon, how we're going to have the EBP, the Bounty Program. So we can discuss between leaders, global leaders, right? So yeah, I'm going to leave to KP Wood. So KP Wood, say hi to everybody. KP? Karen?
Hey everyone.
Okay,
yes. Great. Can you all hear me?
Yeah. I'm going to mute. You go ahead.
Okay, awesome. All right, everyone. Thanks for joining in. This is our first ever Elastos virtual meetup. This meetup will pretty much set the foundation for all the future meetups to come. So since the Elastos community is so big and it's growing to various parts of the world, it's really hard to find a time where everyone can join in. So we'll do the best we can. A little insight in looking back, we've been growing in numbers in both our Reddit and Telegram channel, and that includes our developer community from all around the world with community enthusiasts. There have been more videos put out on YouTube about Elastos in the last 2 weeks than there have been over the last 6 months. That's pretty cool. We hope this number will keep on growing from here. But to do that, we cannot do that alone. So that is the very topic of discussion today, mostly in regards to the Elastos Bounty Program. And Kevin, like you said, he already introduced the program a couple of weeks ago, but today we'll be diving into it, talking about all the details and maybe leave some time for some questions. With that said, however, I think it's important to recognize how far we've come. But at the same time, also keep in mind that we're just getting started and growing the community organically. And that's always a good thing for a long-term sustainment. And that's pretty much what we're going to be focusing on. So the reason we wanted to have this, new format, this sort of virtual meetup where we don't really see a whole lot of other communities doing is because we wanted to get closer to the community, listen to them, talk to them face to face, even if it's virtual. We can't really see you guys. And then reach out to developer communities and then help the general population understand what Elastos is doing, how everyone can get involved in this project, because you don't have to be a developer to contribute. Anyone can contribute. And as Kevin might put it, I think he said it in the last weekly, we feel, and I'm coding, we feel that our team is not the world, but the world is our team. So with that, let's get started. If I can, okay, there it is. So what's on the agenda? This is Eastern time. So since I'm going to be the one sending out these meeting invites in the future too, they will all be in Eastern time. I mean, I can try to do it in the UTC time so everyone can, convert their own time zone, but we'll see. The first thing is we have the introductions, and then after that, we're going to talk about what this meetup is about, how the future meetups will be structured, and then later we'll talk about the Elastos Bounty Program, going into more detail, and then we'll have some questions about that, and then we'll talk about some of the planned future events, along with what the next meetup topic should be about. And then we have a wrap up. So that should be fairly short, but we'll see how the time goes. We did reserve like 2 hours for this time, but I'm not sure we'll be using all 2 hours. All right, introductions. I'll go first, and then I'll let you go after me. So a little about me. I was born in Nepal, moved to the States, to Colorado back in 2006. I graduated from University of Colorado in 2014, and I worked for a company called Avaya back for about 2 years. And then I moved to the East Coast. I've been living in Maryland. And then recently, actually starting next week, I'll be part of this community, working full-time, dedicating all of my time for the growth of the Elastos community. A little background about me. I did my bachelor's in computer science. So it has been about 4 years, 4 years since I graduated. Fairly new to this world, and definitely new to the blockchain world. Elastos is actually the project that introduced me to the blockchain world, so I'm very thankful for that. But I'm really excited to start this journey. I'll let Clarence take over about his introduction, so why don't you go ahead?
Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me, Karen? Yeah, okay, just everyone else is muted, right? Cool. About me, I'm actually a lot older than I look. I remember Kiran was saying that you look like you're 25, 26. I'm 32 next month, so a lot older than I look. I graduated 5 years ago from University of British Columbia, so I'm Canadian. I've been working in the States in Silicon Valley for about over 5 years now. And I actually worked with Kevin before, so that's how I know Kevin, and we're old colleagues. So of course, when he joined Elastos, I pretty much came through here as well. So that's mostly about me. I've been a software engineer for a while, yeah. My last company was at HeadNote. We're doing payment systems, but I'm pretty new to the blockchain world as well. But Kevin and I have been talking about blockchain since like February. So it's always been really interesting for me. I'm not much more to say, except EVP is going pretty well, and we'll talk about that pretty soon. And if you have any questions for me, we'll save them for the end. Do you want to go ahead again?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for that. We'll move on to the next section right away. Let me go here. So who do we have today? So I actually put out this form on our GitHub page, and also reached out to some of the people who might be interested in being some of the community leaders for us in the future. And so we got a lot of signups in the form. As you can see, we got people from pretty much all over the world. So thanks for being here, even if like it's 4 a.m. for some of you guys, that some of you guys were telling me earlier. And it's like 10 p.m. for me myself. So We got people from all over the world, so really excited to be here. I don't know how many of you who filled out the form actually are here, but I see 30 people here, so that's a good indication because we signed up with 30 people. Well, that's excluding me and Kevin and others, but yeah. Anyways, so we'll move on to the next part, which is talking about the virtual meetup structure. So because this is a virtual meetup, this is going to be really informal, kind of like a free-form sort of meetup. For the formal meetups, we'll have the actual face-to-face meetups, that we will be having in the future at certain locations. But as far as the structure of virtual meetups go, it's pretty much free-form. So feel free to ask questions and stuff like that. We'll talk about that more later. But we'll have different meetups for different audiences. Since this is the first one, we wanted to have community leaders, potential community leaders, get their input, talk to them about what their role might look like. And we'll also have meetups for maybe, exclusively for developers, but others are definitely welcome to join. But those will definitely be technical in nature. And then we'll have other meetups for the wider community. Most of the time, the meetups will be for the wider community, but again, everyone is welcome to join and chime in. Every meetup will be recorded and posted to YouTube. So, and even including this meetup. So this first meetup will be to talk about the Elastos Bounty Program. Each meetup will be assigned I would say roughly 30 minutes to cover a specific topic. And then we'll have an immediate Q&A as a follow-up with that. And as I mentioned earlier, topics may be technical most of the time or non-technical in nature. So it really depends, on us, because towards the end, the last part of the meetup is going to be, us discussing the topic for the next meetup. So without further ado, I'll let Clarence take over from here, talking about the Elastos Bounty Program. So.
Oh, we're really fast. Okay, cool. So EBP, just starting from the very beginning, just so if anyone hasn't really read about the EBP program, and I'm in charge of the website. So there's going to be a website that you'll go to, and you'll see here that we have 4 roles, and generally it's for members to join teams and apply for events, and you can earn voting power through the EBP program by completing events or doing tasks. And all of you guys basically be leaders. So you'll see that you'll be assigned by vote. That's on the next slide. We'll talk about that later. And then once you are a leader, you can propose tasks, and then admins will then approve those tasks. And you can an event, which could be like a meetup in your community. And you can allocate rewards to assistants. So if you own a parent task, you can have subtasks, and you can assign those out to your assistants. And then we have admins such as Kiran and I, who will actually be approving the tasks. And council is going to be the basically like Rongchen and all those guys, and Kevin probably. So they have veto powers, which is kind of just a last minute protection in case you guys vote on something silly. But in general, we want to make sure everything's transparent. It's a total democracy. So if they do make any decisions, we pretty much want to make sure that the reasons are given out. Can we jump to the next slide? Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, let me.
So I just want to go over kind of what your roles as a leader would be. So as a leader, you can propose the events and tasks that you want to do. So you can have an upfront ELA that you would want. So typically, if you want to run an offline meetup somewhere in your country, I'm sure you're going to need money to set up rent a place and hire people, or pizza and all that stuff. So you can set up a proposal with ask for a certain amount of ELA up front. You set your dates, acceptance criteria, and then maybe another ELA on completion. I'm going to ignore the tasks at the bottom for now. An admin such as Kiran or Kevin or I would approve your proposal. We would distribute the ELA upfront if you did request any. And just another thing, just on the side of interruptions there. Just wanted to mention too that if you want to make tasks that don't require ELA, or maybe we'll have limits, maybe we'll have like under a certain limit of ELA, we can let you just automatically create tasks. So that might be additional powers that maybe we'll decide to give certain leaders that we trust, so they can create small tasks that, you know, have smaller ELA rewards without going through approval processes, etc. But generally, if you want to create an event that's free and you don't need ELA from us, go ahead. You can have this website where you can create as many events as you want, and we can have members join. You just have to come to us if you want upfront ELA. Then there will be an event planning stage. Like I said, the initial parent task or event has to be approved by the admin. But once you have a big project, like a huge meetup, you can then create smaller subtasks to assign to different people and start managing your program through the EBP website. And then we'll track how you allocate the ELA. Obviously, that's not actual ELA, so it's allocations of how much ELA we approve. And then at the end of once you're done with the event, then the admins will distribute the ELA directly to the participants based on the subtasks, and et cetera, et cetera. Next slide, if you could. Cool, and so here's a quick timeline of what we a general timeline. At the very top there, you see there's a European tour. So I think Kevin and all those guys and Rong Chen and them will be off on their Euro tour sometime in this summer. We hope to have the website done by the end of this month, and then we'll add on voting the week after. I missed it earlier up above, but all the members, I think we're going to do a Slack for all the members. Maybe you guys like Discord. We can talk about that later. I'm more used to Slack. I feel like we can have like community channels for each community, country, et cetera, region, or et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, so if you join, you automatically get access to Slack. And then we'll have our first leader elections once voting's added early June. And that's going to be, I think, on sign up, I think we're going to give everybody like an airdrop of like 100 voting power, and it's just linear. Whoever gets the most voting power wins. So each community, you guys, obviously, if there's only one or two choices, whoever gets voted to be the leader is the leader. And then everyone else can be assistants, etc. So, and then we have the global hackathon, which is an announcement that we're making today. It's kind of a competition, actually, and hackathon at the end. What it'll actually be is an offline competition where people can work on their projects, because these are harder. It's the first, it's like Elastos is a new platform, right? So there's no way that you can expect teams to sit down and build something in a weekend. But we want to have a month-long competition. If you look at the bottom there, there's developer support. So based on feedback from China's hackathon, no one knows what they're doing. Everyone has a lot of questions. So we'll have like a full-fledged developer support team ready to help out everyone who wants to work on this competition. So it'll be about a month long. This is still up for discussion how long it will be. There'll be a deadline, and then we'll have a really big hackathon kickoff celebration at the end for rewards. So you might have like a small competition, like a small hackathon, like a fun task for people to do, like for surprise rewards or things like that. Hopefully it's like a 2-day thing where we announce the winners. We have a fun hackathon where teams can work on something for fun, gain some rewards. Hopefully you can make this a global thing where we have multiple meetups going on all around the world around the same time, and just a big celebration and trying to get developers excited about the project.
Hey,
and hopefully,
Chris has a question. Chris raised his hand. Chris,
okay.
Michael Groger.
Okay, let me just finish one more thing.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
no problem.
Yeah, just want to talk about one last thing, which is the event dev meetups to build up interest in the dev competitions. So the idea is that as leaders, you can create events and things like that to gather developers, recruit developers, and then kind of work in parallel with this competition to get them in there and working on something. Our competition will have minimum rewards. So as long as you produce something, substantial by the end of the deadline, I think we have a cutoff somewhere, like a filter, I think, Kevin, right? So there's I forgot to put that in. So somewhere between the deadline and the start, there'll be kind of a little bit of a pre-proposal stage where we want to take a look at the proposals. But everyone who advances past a certain stage will get minimum some ELA. So there'll be that there too. So I kind of want to get people in there because it's going to be a fair bit of ELA we'll be giving out. Okay, questions?
Hi, Kevin and KP. Thank you very much for this morning or this afternoon, wherever you are. I just had a question about, well, I've got a couple, but the first one, I suppose, is about the events and devs meetup to build up interest. So the long, dark row that you've got on the screen at the moment. If you want to do that globally, starting on the 2nd of July, perhaps that long blue line there should shift all the way across to the left, because the thing that we can be all concentrating on is building up that local and then regional interest, so that by the 2nd of July, you can actually then start that global hackathon. Over?
Yeah, we want to, but the problem is right now that the leader elections do take some time. So we'd like to have, voting won't be added. It won't even have this thing going until then. But I agree, we should probably do some Google Forms. And earlier on, in one of our earlier slides, I did say that we will have some leaders elected by council. And so, I mean, those of you here, yeah, we would like you to get started as soon as possible. So we'll talk about that sooner, maybe the next call. And when's the next virtual meetup? I think Kiran and I will work on that. Kiran definitely will try to get some of you who he knows and are definitely, we seem committed to get things going early. I agree.
Yeah. Chris, are you from UK? I learned from your accent. Are you from UK?
Yes, that's right. Morning.
Okay. Yeah, I hear from your voice. So why do you think July 2nd will be too late? Is there any reason, like summer vacation or something?
No, I think July is a great time to start the global hackathon and competition announcement. If you want to run it from the 2nd of July, though, all the way through to August, then I think what we need to be doing from right now is raising local and regional interest. And so that on the 2nd of July, you've actually got a whole load of people going into the competition.
Yeah, absolutely.
If we wait and do it and don't start advertising it and building up interest in it, you're not actually going to get that momentum until the end of the summer.
That's right. That's absolutely right. Yeah, that's why we're going to. That's why we started the meeting today, and we can start to do some kind of advertisement and also some. That's why we need a leader to election so we can find leaders in each local community. So the leader will take responsibility to do the local advertisement or gathering. So that's why we need a leader right now. You are right.
Sure, yeah, I get that, and I realize there's some tension there, but I think actually, we're all demonstrating that we're committed. But if you wait and do it sequentially, you're not going to get as much as you can if we start and do it simultaneously. Right.
So that's why we have a leader meeting today. So after the meeting, each leader in your own region, you can start to work on it, right? Okay.
Happy days.
Yeah, great.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So Kiran, how's that sound to you? I think it's a great idea. So, I think, and Kevin and I was talking earlier today. I think we can definitely do this. We do want to get things rolling, and we do have that council thing earlier that I mentioned, that the council can approve certain leaders earlier on, and so maybe let's get that ball rolling. I agree.
Right. Yeah. I think I agree with you guys both.
Cool. Think it's mostly Q&A. If you have any questions about the general website, I really just kind of assumed everyone sort of knew what it's about. It's a pretty straightforward concept too. So hopefully.
Oh, can I ask you another question then?
Oh yeah, sure.
So on the website, I just had an idea that what would be great, and I've not seen it yet, but what would be great is to have a visual representation of where events were going on a sort of global map, if you like, so that actually you build up a competition within the regions themselves. So I don't know, little flags on the map, or you know, I don't know how you could do it, but a visual representation of where all these meetups or where all these activities were going on would be a really good driver for other activity.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. At the very minimum, of course, we're working on kind of a skeleton team, but we're trying to add people as fast as possible. Yeah. Definitely features like a calendar would be first, and obviously a cool global map would be awesome. We'll have community pages. So every respective community will have its own page that we can so members that join can go to that page and sort of try to organize things within their community. And I'm thinking obviously there will be Slack channels for every community as well. So hopefully that gets things rolling so you can find people in your local community to collaborate with.
Yeah, and also if you have any suggestion on how we can build our global community, you actually can go to our GitHub site. We have a global community GitHub repo. You can raise a issue there. So we are looking at the issue every day. So if you have any suggestion like a map or something like that, you can just raise an issue and we can gather all the requests from the community. We can build a better website in the future. And thank you, everyone.
Right, it's the same GitHub link that I put up earlier, and you can just go to that link, and then there's a place that you can go to issues, and then create an issue, and then you can put in your request, and then we'll be notified of that, and we can start working on that. That's what Kevin is talking about.
I have a question. Would it be beneficial for us to maybe have a leadership Telegram group or something so we could bounce ideas off of each other?
Yeah, that or Slack. I think I might go for Slack since it's all going to be in one place. We have archives. We don't have much control over Telegram.
Okay. I haven't used Slack. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with Slack, but I think it's a great idea. I mean, the Telegram groups that I'm in are fantastic for sharing ideas. You know, if an idea is working in one country, there's no reason at all why it shouldn't transfer to others.
Oh, absolutely. The EBP website also is for collaboration, so we do want people to be able to post, you guys talk to each other through the website. But I think it'll be Slack for now. I encourage you to try it. I mean, maybe one of the requirements, because we do have to be in one place and we do have to be able to moderate who's doing what. I mean, in Telegram groups, we don't really have too much control over.
Yeah, and I also have a wild idea. In the future, we actually can using the carrier to build a online chatting stuff, just like a Telegram or Slack. We actually can build into our EBP program. So using our own technology. So that's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Well, we can use that as a hackathon idea. All right. Well, let's keep moving.
All right. Are there any more questions from anyone else regarding the bounty program or the website or anything?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
So I was also wondering, let's say there are like many communities, right? So when it comes to elections, let's say there is like one community with like 20 people and the other community with 200 people. So let's say a guy gets elected in like 20 people community and the other guy gets community. What is the difference that the guy who won the 200 people election is getting more than the 20 people community?
So are you talking about the like one same area? So like I live in Ireland.
No. Let's say there is like two countries, okay? Korea and just Japan, okay?
Right.
The Korean community, let's say they have like 20 people, for example. Japan community has like 200 people with me going on, okay? And a guy won the election in the Japan community, and a other person won in the Korea community. So what is the guy who won in the Japan doing a lot of activities get extra benefits than the guy who won a different areas community, which is not doing much?
I'm not sure what we're talking about in terms of benefits. There aren't really any benefits. I mean, it's a job in a way, right? It's the opportunity to be a leader.
Mm-hmm.
The ELA rewards, actually, I think I mentioned above, it's in the slide. Probably didn't talk about it directly, but ELA rewards will be dictated by the council too.
Okay.
But in general, we try to keep it the same, consistent across the board, right? So just hosting events, you'd get ELA for your time.
And also the cost could be different. Let's say the Korea have only 20 people and the Japan has 200 people. So if you have a kind of a hackathon in Japan and Korea, of course, Japan, because they have more members, so the cost will be higher, and the Korean will be obviously less than Japan. So the cost will be lower. Regarding the benefits, like how much we pay Ella to the leader, I think it's nothing to do with the member, how many people in that country. It's nothing to do with that. It's just depends on your work. How many events you organized, how many hackathon, what kind of cost you got. It's totally related to your work, not related to how many people you have. But yeah, generally speaking, if you have a more member in your country, usually you will do more work. So yeah, that's true.
And just to add, we will be requiring receipts or things like that, obviously, and we'll have teams here managing that. So I mean, whatever you ask for upfront and what your rewards you expect are going to have to be reasonable.
And I think the biggest reward is not coming from the ally we issue to the leader. It is coming from the price gain of the ally in the future. So let's say today ally is about $50. But what if someday if everybody work right and work harder, we actually get $500 after a year. So everybody will get rich. So that is the biggest benefit we can get, not only for the how many ally you got.
Okay, sounds good.
I have a question regarding that. As the size of these groups increase, and let's say eventually gets over to 1,000 people in a group, and the workload then increases, will there be a chance for having multiple leaders in one region or one area to accommodate for that?
Possibly, yes. The answer is right. It's yes. For like a bigger country like a China or India, like in China, we already have 2 centers, Beijing and Shanghai. In India, we may have a multiple center as well. So it is possible there are a few more leaders in one country or region. It is possible. Depends on the community size.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's move forward.
All right, moving on to the next slide. We're almost at the end of it hasn't even been half an hour, but like I said, this meeting should be short because this is our first meeting. But as we discussed earlier, I guess we didn't really talk about the Europe tour. Let me go back. Kevin or Clarence, do you guys want to talk about the Euro tour from June to July that you see on the calendar?
Oh yes, actually, I didn't know too much about that either. We just have a few community member is organizing the Europe tour. And as far as I know, I only know one thing for sure is I think that's June 28th, if I remember correctly. There will be a conference in Amsterdam, Netherlands. A lot of people, including me, will be there. And after the conference, we may have a Europe tour. Possibly, I don't know how many countries, probably including Paris, Berlin, London, possibly. I don't know because I haven't got any confirmation yet. The only thing confirmed is the Amsterdam, the conference. We are planning right now. We can release more information maybe in a few weeks. And I hope, I know a lot of people coming from Europe. So thank you. I know you're early morning right now. And I hope the leader in those countries, or more European countries, not only the country I mentioned, can just contact us. And if you can host this kind of meetup, I'm really happy I can get there and to give a talk, and we can discuss more later. That's I really want. So just contact us if you are somewhere in Europe. I really want to do something on the tour.
Kevin, it's Chris from the UK again. I think that's a brilliant idea, and perhaps one of the first things that we can do to support you, in that I'm sure all those people that are here from European countries could absolutely be your link to help you design and plan that European tour. So the sooner that we can get involved in that, the better, and the better the outcome for everyone.
Sure, of course, we can start it now.
Oh, great. It's exciting stuff.
Okay, cool.
All right, cool. All right, future events. We talked about Europe tour just now, and then we have hackathons. We also talked about that. And as Kevin said, whenever we organize any kind of events, it usually works out better if we have the community leaders, get involved, so that we get, we build that more of that connections with them, and they can help us guide further on the venues and that kind of stuff, because we don't, we don't really live in those local areas. So it would be good if we can get some help in that. All right. With that said, I kind of had these 3 different topics that I had for next meetup topic. Again, these are just examples. We don't have to do this, but the next meetup will be open to everyone, not just the leaders, but pretty much to the wider community. So do you guys, after being a part of the Elastos community, and then also because I've been putting out lots of videos on stuff like Elastos Runtime and the digital assets, how they work, and all that kind of stuff. What do you guys think is a topic of discussion that we can dedicate about 20 minutes or so in the next meetup? Do you guys have any ideas for that?
Yeah, I'll throw in line. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I was just going to say, what would be really helpful to know is, do we have an agreed audience or target market that you're after for this? So, and it might sound like a strange and daft question for a developer community, but in order to really understand where we should target our efforts, it would be helpful to just agree collectively what it is you're looking for, and what are the requirements or the skills and qualifications or experience or whatever it is, so that we can refine it right down. Or is it broad enough that we can go from school age computer developers right the way through to, I don't know, other people you might be interested in? So a conversation about that target would be interesting.
I think the target would be the DApp developers. If you already know Elastos, you know what Elastos can do. Elastos is operating system. We can allow the DApp developer to easily build their decentralized application running on top of the Elastos. So in that case, if you know some people or some community, they are building or they plan to build any decentralized application, and they're looking for an alternative than Ethereum or some, I don't really think Ethereum is an open system. It's looking for some kind of a tool to build the apps. I believe Elastos would be the best choice for them. And we need to approach those people and telling them what they can build, easily build the apps on Elastos. I believe that kind of person will be the target. And regarding the age or experiences, it's hard to tell because, some younger people, even still in high school, they are so smart. They actually already been jumping into the app development. But some older people, at my age, still trying to pretend to be younger. Try to do
Yeah,
some,
but I mean, I've seen
yeah.
I've seen you on your latest series of videos, and actually, I think you're looking pretty cool.
I was about to say, like with all that wildlife and the
Yeah. Thank you.
But on that, I mean, I don't even know, and forgive my ignorance, but the job of DApp developer isn't one that I'm familiar with yet. So, you know, going on LinkedIn or another job site, you can actually go and hunt and find people by what their profiles are. So, just some help refining that down would be helpful. But it doesn't have to be now.
Right. But I know what you mean, but it's kind of hard because the D app is really new concept. I didn't know this concept 1 year ago. So it's harder to find on anybody's LinkedIn profile, say somebody working on the app. It's pretty hard. And very likely we just can find people who said they are interested in blockchain or blockchain application. That could be some kind of people we are looking for.
Also, I think what might help is, when at least for the first few virtual meetups, when we have these. Sorry, can whoever go and mute? Okay, I'm having that feedback loop. Is that me? No. So I was thinking, because we provide the SDK targeting different platforms like Android, iOS. So it doesn't even have to be blockchain. Maybe the next few topics can focus exclusively on just finding just regular developers and then educating them about blockchain and also Elastos in the mix. So how those fit together and that kind of thing. So just introduction to blockchain and like what it means to be a DApp. How does that work? I think those kind of topics would be helpful. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think you're spot on, actually. But I also note that there's a business opportunity here, and one that I know that an organization called Moonlight are going to try and exploit. But there's clearly a gap in the market for both those individuals and connecting those individuals to projects such as this. So yeah, the more we can do to educate what that means and how you become one, the better. So again, that's why I was talking about what target market are you going for. So in the short term, we need people who are already capable or competent at throwing themselves into the hackathon. But if you're looking at a longer term time frame, I don't know, let's say 3 to 5 years, actually we at the same time need to be targeting a group of individuals who are maybe, I don't know, 16 to 21, so that as they progress through their education, in 4 or 5 years time, they're then ready and absolutely coming into that market and flooding it, wanting to be an Elastos dApp developer.
Yeah, so I just want to chime in here. There's many things I wanted to mention. First of all, yes, we definitely do want to have schools coming up, like sort of like developer, like Elastos, little schools that we can train people, things like that coming up. There's a lot of plans for down the road, so we definitely want to do that. Secondly, one of my personal goals is, like I said earlier, I mean, when I first introduced myself last week, was to build those tutorial sites and those example apps so that any regular developer can go there and learn what building a DApp is all about, and having example apps that they could follow along and understand the concept. And as to your question about how to find these people, yes, the keyword is blockchain. We want someone who's actually perceptive enough and engaged enough to look into blockchain or have that curiosity. And then once you start thinking about blockchains and how consensus models work and how you can build a DApp and the problems associated with it, you can start training them how to change their mindset and build DApps. So it's not a very large leap, but it's definitely a leap. So it's definitely something we want to work on, and that's one of my personal goals. And one more thing.
Sorry.
And one last thing, actually. We want to look at enterprise applications eventually. So we actually do want to sponsor any promising DApp teams. So, and then there is also the referral program. If you remember, that's in the community website as well. So if you go out there and you recruit a bunch of developers and you find a really good team and they become really promising, they want to make a DApp on Elastos, I mean, there's going to be referral opportunities for you there too. So this can be pretty lucrative in terms of, you know, the EBP program. Yeah, that's all.
Awesome. Did someone else had something to say? I heard something.
No, you just covered it. Thank you.
I might actually add something real quick if anybody can hear me.
Sure, yeah.
Just to cover what Chris was saying, the repository of people like that you probably want to first focus on is universities or technical institutions. You're probably in the UK, somewhere like Edinburgh University, where they have a big AI center, or here in Atlanta, we have Georgia Tech. These schools keep big lists of current and former students in CS, and they do email blasts all the time. So that's what my company does. Is we work with material science engineering department at Georgia Tech, and they'll keep lists of people that they constantly deal with, and they'll send email blasts. And so if you can get these universities to work with, they'll gladly send something out if it means that they'll have an opportunity for their students or former students to gain some knowledge or maybe some work.
Wes, is that you?
Weston.
Weston, hi. Yeah, no, that's spot on. And I was thinking about that not only for this actually, but also for the video or the film competition that's running and been extended out until July. Actually, you know, that's another example of where if you hit the universities, schools, and colleges at the right point, you can actually get them to do it as a task that they can almost build into their syllabus. So, you know, you want a new video or infographic built, then there are artists and designers out there who would love to do that, and they get both the gain of a possible ELA and involved in a real business and project, and also the gain of developing their portfolio for whatever exams they're going to sit. So yeah, that's a really rich community, but it's about the timing of it, because you've got to line them up early. You can't expect to throw it in and get immediate results. It's probably at least a 6-month timeline, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, that remains to be seen. I just wanted to throw in the university idea. That'll be one of my.
I think it's a great one. Perhaps we can chat offline about some of those ideas, or bring it back onto another forum so that everyone can join in.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. Well, for the next meetup, I guess we don't have a definite topic. We'll think of something, because this will be open to everyone. We'll start with something. The next meetup will be to the wider community, not the developer focus. That will be the next one after that, most likely. So I think we'll go with something simpler, like we'll figure that out offline, but we will be sending that out, through Telegram and Twitter, because it will be open to everyone. So we'll think of something for the next meetup topic. Just some presentation that we can give for like 20 minutes, and then have people ask questions and stuff like that. All right, and then wrap up. Any words of wisdom from Kevin?
I just want to hear from the leaders today, because we just decentralized everywhere, everybody from each country. So if you have any suggestion on how we can make this kind of a conversation better, and I really like to hear from everybody. Do you think this kind of online meeting, Zoom meeting, is a good way to do? If everybody agree, we actually can have this kind of meeting either weekly or bi-weekly. We can discuss a lot of issues. Before the meeting, we can have a page either on GitHub or somewhere. People can raise any concern issues you want to talk, you want to discuss in the meeting. Then we can list a agenda. The KP Karen can have an agenda before the meeting, and everybody jump in the meeting on time. Maybe this time could be better for Asian and American, but maybe not better for Europe. So probably that time we can have another time, like in the early morning of California, which is also a better time for Europe. We can switch between the morning and the night. So we try to get everybody involved, not only Asian people and American people. And if you have any other idea using what kind of tools we got a communication, this is let me know. I really want to hear from the community. I really want to hear from the leaders today in the meeting. After the meeting, I hope you can start to do some local work in your own country, own city, and give us the proposal how you are going to work in your own country. We already got a few leaders give us some proposal, very good. Like in India, I saw the guy. Mahadev today. And also other people in other countries, they already gave us a very good proposal, and we are internally we're discussing that. In the future, we may just starting to implement those ideas one by one. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming today. And also another thing before I hang up is I really want to everybody get the meeting in time, on time. I mean, for example, today, if you get here later, you may not know that the first 11 people who joined in the meeting before 7:01 PDT, they already got one ELA reward from me. I haven't sent it yet, but those people, they emailed me before 7:01 who in the meeting, they will get one ELA reward because they joined the meeting on time. So I hope next time everybody can get here earlier so that we can start in time and you can get some kind of other kind of reward later. All right, that's for me for today. So I'm open to other people have any suggestion.
Hey, Kevin, actually, I wanted to pose some questions to the community leaders right now, actually. I want to get your feedback. So the voting power thing, we're actually still soliciting feedback for how voting power works. We're thinking right now that there will be a 100-to-1 ratio for voting power to ELA.
Yeah, we can do that. It's just a number. I don't mind it 100 or 1,000. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. And then more specifically, there's also going to be a linear depreciation of the voting power. And what do you guys think about that? Does that make sense to you guys? Do you think we should have a depreciation on the voting power?
Oh yeah, let me explain why I designed the voting power to be deprecated. The reason is I really want people to use the voting power, but not accumulate in your bank account and save for years. So get a huge voting power and use at once. I don't want that to happen. So that's why I designed the voting power to be deprecated in over the time, maybe let's say 3 months or 6 months. It will depreciate gradually. So once you have the voting power, I really encourage you to use it, especially use it as soon as possible. Do not to put it in the account. That's why I designed it like that. So I'm not sure if anybody agree or don't agree or have any better idea how we can design the voting power.
I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn, but again, I think it's probably my naivety here, but I'm not sure what I meant to have read to understand the voting power bit. And there's some chatter on the group chat about what it is. I don't know. Could you just go backwards slightly and just give us a newbie's perspective of what that is and exactly how you think it should be used and for what end?
Great. I'll answer that question. And even before I start, I actually did realize a flaw in the 100-to-1. And we were actually thinking 100 voting power, or VP, what we call it here. We called it like VPW for one ELA. That won't be the case, actually, Kevin. If you think about it, if ELA goes up in price to $500, we're not going to be giving people one ELA an hour anymore. And all the bounties will change. So therefore, you will be earning less ELA, less voting power in the future. And we can't have that. But we do have the depreciation going on. So we'll have to put some more thought into that. But the idea is you get a lot more ELA for for your whatever you do, and we'll think about that down the road. And then this voting power is used for elections. So when we have leadership elections, that's what you use your voting power for. Or if we have like a logo contest, or we have a hackathon, or a competition, and people want to vote on the winner, you can use the voting power.
Yeah, and the way to get the voting power, we have a two-way. The first way is you at the beginning, we actually can airdrop some voting power to people who register into EBP. And that's only at the beginning because we really want a lot of people have voting power to start, like a co-starter. But the majority way to get voting power is through contribution. So once you contribute into the EBP, for example, you join a program, you contribute a code, and you get a reward ELA from the EBP. Anytime you get a reward ELA, assume we have a 1 with 100, then every ELA you got rewarding, we will also at the same time issue a 100 voting power. The voting power will be stored in your bank account. Then you can use that to vote, just like Clarence mentioned in the hackathon, like a logo competition or any kind of thing we need the community to vote. You can use the voting power. Because the deprecation, so even if you don't use it after a few months, it just disappeared. So we encourage people to use it. And the way to continue to get the voting power is to keep the contribution. We only give the voting power to the people who contribute, not people who have a deep pocket, who own a lot of ELA, but they don't do contribution. Those are people we try to not giving them the voting power. We only give people who vote. Oh, sorry, we give people who contribute. That's my idea.
And again, contribution can be a form of, not just the development side, but also if you look at the GitHub page, it involves a variety of tasks. So even if you don't have to be a developer to earn this voting power, you can earn that through various means, like the social media and then that kind of stuff. So
yeah, the EBP is not only for developer. If you read the GitHub page, you will realize that we have 4 or 5 a sub project of the EBP. Like a developer is one of them. Also for the bug bounty, for the social bounty, for leader bounty. So we have a whole range of the you can see that. Yes, this is the GitHub page. You can see the EBDP, EBBP, ESBP. We have a whole bunch of the bounty program. So even you are not a developer, you can still join some of the bounty program. You can get your ally and the voting power.
Right. And you can read through this page. It's really detailed. Like if you look at the social bounty program, it includes not just YouTube videos, but podcasts or even, tweets, blogs, posts, articles, anything really. And raising questions on Stack Overflow or any kind of contribution that is going to help the development community and the community as in general. That's considered, contributing to the program. So they're not just limited to the actual development and the developer side. So.
And I'm assuming there's not a limit to the amount of voting power that is distributed.
Say it again. What question? Say it again.
I'm assuming that there's not a limit to the amount of voting power that's distributed.
There's no limit, but your voting power will expire after like three months.
Right. Okay.
All right. Any more questions, comments? I think we're right on time, even if we took majority of the time discussing, which is really good because, as I said at the beginning of the meetup, these virtual meetups are supposed to be informal and really free form. So it's all going to be about questions and just discussing and how we can grow together. So if no one has any more questions, comments, I think we'll just conclude that here at exactly.
I have a comment.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, there's probably a couple. Can we just go around the room virtually?
So this is Nick. I'm in Toronto, and my comment is it might be helpful if I know that we're not going to get to have the leadership voting elections in the next couple of weeks, but it might be good to get the people who are interested in being community leaders in the same communities to sort of connect, tomorrow or soon, to start maybe planning on how to start thinking about, building a community and attracting some DApp developers.
I absolutely like that idea.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, yeah, Kiran, maybe we'll just go ahead and invite everyone here to the Slack. We just want to get everyone in the same room. Does everyone here have
I think that would be a great idea.
contact? Yeah, let's just go ahead and do that. Leaders or not, I think everyone should be at least in Slack.
Yeah, that would be good. I mean, there's a sort of philosophical point about what's going on here, which is that whether we realized it or not, actually, what we've got is a centralized hub, which is you guys who are running this meeting, and we're all on the periphery, all coming into it. But what we've not got is the network yet from all of us who are sitting in these countries or on the peripheries to each other. And so, joining us up as a group will be really helpful rather than all coming into you, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. So Kiran, can I leave it in charge of you to get everyone's, you should have everyone's contacts, but if you forward those to me, I'll start adding them and you to Slack.
Yeah, so I did send in, well, I'm assuming I sent you all the invite, and that's how you were able to join the meeting. So if you could all email me your information, I'll forward that to Clarence, and then we'll go from there. Anything else? Any last comments? Words of wisdom from anyone else?
When do we plan to have a next meeting? This meeting next time?
So I was thinking definitely next week. It's going to be middle of the week. It's not always going to be Tuesdays, because, it might not be the best time for everyone. So we'll try to switch it up. Like, if we do Tuesday this week, maybe we'll do Wednesday or Thursday next week. So either way, we'll be sure to put that out in Telegram, Twitter, and if it's for the wider community, which it is for the next meetup, we'll put that out everywhere. We'll give at least 5 days notice, so everyone has the chance to, get all the details, everything that they need. So.
Yeah, and if you have any suggestion or any proposal in your local region, you can feel free to contact me or Karen or Clarence, or just raise an GitHub issue on our GitHub. So we welcome to all kind of a suggestion and proposal. Thank you. And after the meeting, I'm going to post the YouTube, the video. The video is recording right now. I'm going to post the video to YouTube. So for some people who didn't get a chance to jump in the meeting today, they can still get the meeting's video recording on YouTube. All right, so any other question?
Is it possible, I mean, as we're all here, is it possible just to introduce ourselves and actually hear from everyone and put a voice to an email address?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We still have some time. The meeting was original plan for one hour, and since the main topic has completed, we actually give the time to everybody, so everybody can just one by one introduce themselves.
Right. Yeah. Feel free to go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I hear the dog.
Yeah, I'm David Chakowski from Fort Myers, Florida.
Bandwidth issue.
Yeah, I think he got cut off because I can't hear him.
He was from Fort Myers.
Fort Myers.
David Chakowski from Fort Myers, Florida. Sorry, my reception's bad.
Well, I'll continue. I'm Weston Aldridge from Atlanta, Georgia.
I'm Tyler Swope, Chico Crypto, San Francisco.
Hi, Chico. Nice to see you again.
Hey.
We got Tyler in the home. Okay, that's good.
Yes.
My name's David Schwartz. I live in Los Angeles. Hey, guys.
Hey, David.
Hey guys, so you can you guys hear me?
Oh. Go ahead.
You can go first.
Okay. Hey, I'm Alex Fusani. I'm out of Boston. Nice to meet you all.
Hey, my name's Albert Liu. I'm out of Vancouver, Canada. Nice to meet everyone.
I'm West
Kenneth.
Downs. Oh, excuse me.
Go ahead.
Thanks. West Downs out of San Diego.
I'm Kenneth Ko. I'm from Boulder, Colorado. I'm Pole Ninja on the Telegram or the Telegram chat.
Hey, Boulder, Colorado. I still live there.
Nice.
Oh, Ken Ninja. Oh, yeah. Hello, Ken Ninja.
My name's Mahadev, and I'm from India. Probably staying in America for like next year or so and going back.
Guys, my name's Rosh. I'm from Melbourne, Australia.
Hi guys, my name's Borey from Paris, France.
Hey guys, my name is Richard, also known as Big Rich Crypto, and I'm here from Tampa, Florida.
Anyone else?
Guys, you've heard from me before. It's Chris McGregor from the UK.
Cool.
Good morning.
We got someone on the chat because they can't talk.
Yeah, I saw some people.
My name is
Aaron
Aaron from Gold Coast, Australia.
Hey guys, my name is Sander from normally from Amsterdam in the Netherlands, but at the moment I'm from Medellin in Colombia.
Cool.
Hey guys, my name is Michael from New Jersey.
So this is Nick again. Nick Sousen is my full name. I'm from Toronto, and my name on Telegram is Saucy Sauce. It's a nickname that my friends gave me.
Hey guys, this is Nicky from Zurich, Switzerland. You might know me as Gandhi from Telegram.
Yeah, welcome.
Hi, Nikki. This is
Hey,
Milan
Gandhi.
from Germany, close to Cologne.
Nice to meet you.
Hi guys, this is Tala Idris, known as TI from South Africa.
Awesome. We got all our admins here today.
Sure is weird hearing all y'all's voices. This is Tuna and Brian on Telegram.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
if you
it's
guys
great.
could hear me before. I'm Dave Skowski from Fort Myers.
Hi, Dave.
Now that's better than before.
I think it's fantastic that we've just had an opportunity to chat with each other. I think many of us have communicated on other mediums, and yeah, it's nice to hear everyone's voice and be part of this group. I respect what all you guys are doing. Thanks for your help so far.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. There are also some people writing in the chat group because they cannot talk, like Andrew, Joe, Rebecca, Ryan, Jason, and yeah, there are quite a few people from the chat. They cannot talk, but they also say hi to everybody. And thank you, everybody. Welcome today. I really appreciate your time and appreciate your help on the Elastos community.
Awesome. Thanks,
Awesome.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
See you guys next.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you
for coming, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Yep.
See you next time.
All right, see you next week.